Well, looking for love in Mexico could be dangerous. Federal authorities are now issuing an urgent warning following several reports of Americans being kidnapped by people they met on dating apps. U.S. Embassy officials say the victims and their families back in the States have been extorted for large sums of money to secure their release. Joining us now, former FBI agent and partner at Pax Group, Michael Harrigan. Michael, certainly appreciate you being here for this. To start, how common are these types of crimes? What are the conditions also perpetrators are looking for?
Well, the reality of relationships nowadays with technology is that most people, or many people, use dating apps. So what that does is give access to victims, to these individuals with ill intent. And what they can do is they get on these apps and they can surf freely, and they can send out inquiries to multiple people looking for the weak link there, looking for somebody who would agree to meet them in certain areas or even to travel internationally. That's not an uncommon situation where somebody will travel across international borders to meet who they believe would be a good relationship for them. And they don't realize that frequently on these dating apps, it's not a real person, it's a fake profile. And that the point is to get them over there somewhere out of their country or out of their community where they can then be victimized.
Are you seeing tactics by perpetrators that are particularly effective, asking for privacy, for romantic reasons, etc.?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things here is there's a lot of people out there that are very lonely, that are yearning for a relationship, and the internet and the dating apps, with its really false portrayal of people, gives them false hope, so to speak, that this is the relationship they've been waiting for or looking for. So these individuals are very skilled at spotting those behavioral aspects of people that would be susceptible to be influenced. And there's part of it is the personal safety issue, would be maybe some sexual assault or other thing. But the other side is more common, would be financial extortion. Would be the withdrawing of money from accounts, asking for money to be wired internationally. And that happens more than you would realize.
Wow. What are the warning signs folks should be aware of? If they meet someone online, they want to set up an in-person date, what protective terms would you suggest be in place ahead of those meetings?
Well, I think the most important thing is to limit your searches to individuals in the community that can meet you in a safe place in the community, at a restaurant, at a public place. But to contact people that are states away or a country away, it just doesn't make sense. There's plenty of good people out there, and many good people do use dating apps. So I think the number one thing is get to know the person, have a good dialogue online, do some social media data mining on your own. Look at social media profiles. Look for information on the individual. Make sure, that they are who they say they are. And ultimately, go to a public place and meet them if you decide to do that. But give it some time. And don't be starstruck by somebody who seems to be better than they are. Because that's an old saying, is that, a lot of times things seem a lot better than they really are.
Yeah, some great advice. How many of these cases end with a hostage being returned? What are the typical terms? Are they financial?
Well, most of the victimization is financial, and that's been going on for years and years and years. If we look back into the 1980s and 80s, you had fax-based offers that were put out to individuals, especially older people, looking for, money to be sent internationally. But now, with the internet, it's very common. Now, in the kidnappings for profit, a lot of times what they'll do is snatch somebody off a street in another country. They'll look for individuals that are already there, snatch them off the street, send an extortion request to relatives and friends, and attempt to get money in order to release them. But most of the time, those aren't necessarily going to end in homicide, but they're looking for financial gain on that. But I think the more common one would be something where they have a tale of woe. They say, hey, send me some money. I need money to be able to travel to come meet you, or I'm having this and that. And they cultivate that over days, weeks, or months and get the person comfortable and voluntarily sending them money. I think that's the most common one. And that can happen mostly domestically here in the United States, where individuals are just out there trying to get access to bank accounts and get individuals to send money. And you would be surprised at how many people, well knowledgeable, highly educated people that will fall for these scams and send money.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.